Welcome back to the Culture of Currency, where yes, today we're going to talk about selling all of that silver. As you can see here, the silver that we sold made quite a bit of money. So we're going to go over all of the details of what I did and kind of get to see who was the closest to our quote. If you don't remember, I'm giving away a standard Kennedy. This is not a silver Kennedy, but I'm just going to give it away because I thought, hey, why not? It's just 50 cents. So it was mixed in with all of my 90% silver that I sold. And so I thought, well, whoever gets closest to the quote that APMEX gave us will get this. So you should have put it in the comments of that last video where we talked about it. And so whoever is closest will get that, and we'll reveal that probably in the next video. But we need to get to that quote and then talk about what we did because of that quote. So if you don't know, we had a ton of silver that I was asked to find a way to sell. This being tons of Roosevelt dimes, this being peace dollars, Morgans, tons of Kennedys, Benjis, Walking Liberties, and 2 100-ounce Engleharts. So that being said, in that video, we itemized everything. I threw it into the very, very simple to do APMEX Sell to Us page, where you go to the APMEX website, you go to the Sell to Us, you put in everything that you would like to sell, and they turn around and give you a quote. And I will tell you, this quote came back to me extremely quickly. Very, very nice. I actually talked to them on the phone about it as well. Incredibly nice. And very, very easy to understand the process after talking to them. And so this is where we're at. So in order to understand their process and help you understand their process for junk silver especially, what they do is they calculate their percentages, they calculate their prices on the junk silver based on dollar face value. So it would be 4 silver quarters or 10 silver dimes or 2 90% silver, let's say there's 64 Kennedys. And they do the same thing for 40%. They do it by dollar face value. So if you are thinking about selling to APMEX, organize things based on $1. So your coins adding up to $1. And that's what they do. And so as you can see here, the actual quote for everything that they gave us was $8,267.01. That's where we're at for those. And what that broke down to was $80 value, $80.85 value of 90%, which as you can see, spot was $31.25 when this went through. The buy price being $21.45 per ounce, or per, dollar. And so that was $17.34.53. Then we had the 40% silver coins. You see the exact same idea. We had $116 worth of the 40%, which came out to $863. We had a Morgan coal basically and a silver piece coal, though honestly they were better quality than that. But they were going to give us basically 20 for each of those. And the 100-ounce bars, they were going to give us $28.15 for those each. And so that totals a $8,267.01, as you can see. Incredibly easy, incredibly fast. And that being said, the person that had basically said, hey, you're somebody that I think knows about this stuff. This is silver, a piece of what I have that I'm just ready to offload for, all the weight is driving him crazy, basically. So I said, okay, not a big deal. Let's check out APMEX just because I've never done it, see what they do, and then let's check out some other things too. Because the number that APMEX gave us, though they're incredibly kind and all of that, APMEX is there to, obviously buy your stuff and then put it into their platform, which means they have a lot of overhead with their, ads and employees and all these other things, that they have a bit more kind of ground to make up to break even than maybe a local coin shop. So I went to my guy at Longhorn Gold and Silver and I asked him the exact same thing. Hey, based on everything that I have. What would you do? And he said, honestly, I would sell them independently. I would put them on your website. I would do something like that, because then you will get the best return for it. And so I was like, that does make sense. Do I really want to do all the packaging and all that kind of stuff? And I tabulated that and what that would be. And so APMEX would have been 8,267 if I were to go off of what has currently sold, and what I think I could probably sell for. I'd be about 9,500, because I would be at or over spot, depending on the product. And then, that being said, that'd be a whole lot of work. And I have 2 little kids, and I'm going back to work as I'm a teacher. And so I was like, well, I don't really know if that's worth the headache, but I'll, give this person a call and ask them what they want to do. And he said, well, what would that guy at Longhorn Silver quote? I said, that's a great question. Let me just run his numbers. And so he did that too. He went through, he's like, okay, let's tabulate everything and let's get a good understanding. And he got a very, very generous. Obviously, he has to sell as well, so he doesn't just take things at spot. He has to undercut a little bit. But if APMEX was at 8,267, he came in closer to 9,000, which is why you see all of this here. When I called the person with the silver, he said that's exactly what I think is appropriate given the amount of time and effort into this. So he said, I think that's what we need to do. Go ahead and pull the trigger on that, which is, substantially higher than what APMEX was going to offer. But if I were to do the legwork myself, I would be sitting at about $500 difference. And, we decided that just might not be worth the time and effort to put that in, especially since I've never done that before. So what you see here is basically that, right at 9,000, a little over high eights in cash there. But I did do this for him. If you cannot see, this is the first piece of gold. This is a kangaroo. He did say, you know what, if there's something interesting there and 1 ounce of gold, go ahead and exchange some of the money for that. And here we have a 1 ounce golden kangaroo. And fun fact, this is only the second time in my life that I've ever held a 1 ounce gold coin. This is a 2022, and we notice that it is completely different from the silver bullion variety. The gold and the Perth Mint and the Royal Australian Mint tend to have different images on their gold than they do their silver, just like the American Silver Eagle and the Golden Eagle do. So it's very cool. But yeah, my first is actually this guy's as well. It's a Krugerrand, and this is the second gold ounce I've ever held. And I am a little bit taken aback sometimes that this little bitty piece of metal here is, worth $2,400 currently, and it baffles me a little bit. But it is beautiful for sure, and something that not focused. Something that I thought y'all would like to see. So basically, there you have it. An ounce of gold and thousands of Franklins here on the Culture of Currency. This is the second deal that I have brokered, and it has been a lot of fun to learn the process and do so. And Longhorn Gold and Silver, if you're in the area, that is a great place. He's very, very open and honest, which is what you want when you are learning. Basically, he helps you understand in a way that isn't forcing a sale. He puts it all out there and says, hey, these are the options available to you, best I know them. You do what you want with it. And if it's here, great. And if it's not, that's okay too. So that's what you want when you have somebody who is dealing in metals with you, somebody who is not going to push you into anything, but is going to lay everything out honestly and say, look, these are the options as I see them. You see what is fit based on those. And if I can be a part of that, great. And if I can't, that's okay too, because my job is to make you knowledgeable in this stuff. And hopefully what that will do is get business my way one day but if not, we'll at least have another person out there that understands gold and silver that can spread the word of what this stuff can do and all that kind of stuff. So really, really cool video. This was a fun process, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So the person who was closest to the APMEX, I'll go back and check those comments and see, but it was $8,267.01, and we will go from there. Thank you so much, and as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.